Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. I'm Rita, and I wanted to hop on this morning just to quickly show you a card I made and the product I used to make that card. And then I have one that's almost made so we can kind of make the end part together. So let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions about the product, you can check in the next couple of days. It'll be on my blog at Rita's Paper Motif. I am behind in my posting. So bear with me. And it will also lead you to any videos concerning those projects as well. You also on the home page are more than welcome to scroll down, and if you don't have our new September through December mini catalog, you can definitely click the button and go to the virtual copy of the catalog, because that's where you'll find the names and the products that I'm using. So the very first thing that I wanted to share with you, which will lead us into the project today, and I've kind of shared them before, but I didn't take a lot of time to share how they work together and stuff. So in our catalog, you'll be able to find the collection that we call the Mix and Match collection. And so that Mix and Match collection is a collection of 4 different options that you have for easy card making, scrapbooking, 3D projects, whatever your jam is, you'll find it here. So let's talk about the first option. That is what we call the gold dipped note cards. And they come also with their envelopes that match. And these cards, so here's the envelope. This is the blue one. So the envelopes, the card notes, when they're folded, they become like a little over 4 1/4 by almost 6 inches. So that would not fit in a medium envelope. So you can see that won't work, right? So they come with their envelopes that match, now blue and red, whatever. But you can see the difference that in the size of the envelopes. So here's our medium, and here's the envelope that comes with the note cards. Now you'll get 9 envelopes and 9 cards, and there's 3 blue, 3 red, and 3 green. So 2 of them are portrait fold, so you get a portrait card. You could also, you can always switch them around. And then this one is definitely landscape. So you can take advantage of this, and you already have your cards ready to go for Christmas. All you have to do is decorate them, add an image and a sentiment, and you're good to go, right? Well, this collection covers that. So we have our ephemera pack, and this comes in 8 5x7 sheets that have 4 different. So each sheet has different designs on it, different pieces of ephemera, different images. So 2 sheets will have the same images, and there are 4 sheets or 4 different designs of images. So 8 sheets total. I hope that made sense. And all you have to do is punch them out, use your adhesive, and you're good to go. Now, the ephemera, there are different sizes. So some of them are small. I have some here that we can look at. So here's the snowman, and there are, here's a stocking. So those are relatively the same size, right? Here's one that's smaller. Here's some decorations or some ornaments. And then there are some smaller ones. Of course, they'll go to the bottom, right, of my little plate here, because what I do is I punch them all out and put them in a plate so I can just use them. So here are some mittens, and they're much smaller. So they come in different sizes, and you can definitely use them for your cards. So if you have these card envelopes and cards, you could definitely use your ephemera to decorate them and make a beautiful Christmas card. Now, you may say, well, I'm not a card maker. Okay. So this package of ephemera is awesome for your scrapbooking. Now, I happen to scrapbook, and so I like to put, or my goal is to put 3 different collections on each sheet. I don't always get that done, but I like to do that. And so these are perfect because they're smaller pieces, and there are duplicate designs. So there would be like 2 snowmen, 2 ice skates. So you have that option to do that. And you also could do that. So if you do a double page, you also could do that. And so definitely those work for scrapbooking. If you're doing, say you're doing tags or boxes, these work as well. So say you're making ornaments, these work as well. And you're going to see me use them in the upcoming projects because they are so versatile. So this, to me, was a gold mine. And then there's also the tags. So if you're making tags for your gifts that you're giving this year, this Christmas season, then here are also 8 sheets of 5x7 with different designs of tags and ephemera to design them. And really all you have to do is punch them out and they're good to go. And then also, if you're making a card, you have your card in your envelope, you have your images or ephemera, and now you have your sentiments. You're really good to go. You don't really have to have a stamp set because you've got everything that makes a card, right? So if you're low on space, or you have a small craft space, this is a good way to get a lot of cards done for your Christmas season. If you're on the go, I have a friend who crafts with me, but she's on the road more than she's at home. So this is perfect for her. She can put it all in a box. As she has time when she's in her hotel room, she can put together her Christmas cards. She even has time then to go ahead and address them. And then when she comes home, she can stamp them and put them in the mailbox. If she doesn't make it home in time, there's a post office in almost every city and town. So she can still get her cards out. So if you like to send Christmas cards, that's perfect. This does have a Christmas theme. But if you like to scrapbook and you're doing, winter or Christmas scrapbook pages, again, that's the theme. And I use tags on my scrapbook pages too, so this would work for that. Okay. You also see these little homes on the front of our catalog. I also, for the card I'm going to share with you, used our home builder punch. I love punches. I never get rid of mine. So when stuff retires, when product retires, this is one thing I don't get rid of because I can always use them. And I can already, my mind is spinning on different ways that I could use this punch. And so when you turn the punch around so that you don't get that glare from the shininess, you'll see that it punches out the shape. Now we have a stamp set in this catalog that goes along with this home builder punch. So you could stamp the image and then punch it out with a punch if you wanted to. So that's definitely an option. In this case, I didn't stamp it. I just, I'll show you how I did it. But this is another great find in this catalog. So the home builder punch. So let's go ahead now and get busy with our card. Now, while I'm getting all that stuff out here, I did just quickly want to say, I'm encouraging you, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload new content. So what I told you before, or I hinted before in a previous video, that I really liked this card and I was going to use it for a snow scene. So what I did was, and I've already done some of this, so we're not on here for a long time, but I just cut the card in half at the score line. Now, and the reason I did that is because I wanted 2 cards that were similar. And this would use one envelope. I'd only have one card, and I was getting greedy with this design. So I cut it in the middle. When I cut it in the middle, it's still too big for an A2 size card base, right? Because, well, you can see, if you cut it in the middle, it's too long. It's too big. And so what I did was I just cut this down so that once I cut it in half, then I cut it so it measured 4 by 5 1/4. Now, when you go to make it shorter, you don't want, I didn't want to cut this part off, right? This to me is golden here, literally. And so I cut off from the bottom. And so I cut it to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then I had it my A2 size card base. And so then I started making this card with that A2 size card base. So let's talk about that. Now, these trees that I put, we're going to kind of finish this one up. These trees were part of the ephemera that came in that ephemera pack. So really all I had to do was adhere it. And if you adhere it to the layer before you adhere the layer to the card base, it is easier. And I did want to adhere it so that you could see some of the white in the background to just add to that snowy scene. The other thing is you try to get them straight, but if it's off a little, and this one to me is off, just a tad, then that's okay, because trees don't stand at attention always, right? So that wouldn't be so weird. Anyway, so I did that, and then just like on this card, I wanted a snowman. And so there is a snowman in the ephemera pack. There is definitely a snowman. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. But I wanted to add a little more to that, and thinking what I could put over here in this space, I thought, okay, I'm going to save him for something else. I am going to use him, and I do love him. But while I was looking through some of my scraps and leftovers, I found 2 of these snowmen that I've had for a while. And so I used this one on this card, and I'm going to use this one on this card. And so I thought, okay, so let's just keep building, right? So I wanted a home. My idea was to use, to think of, you're driving up to my home, you see my house, and hopefully we have a snowman. If you have small children, that's a great thing for them to do. I'm probably not going to go out there and build a snowman, but that would be a cute thing to see in the yard, right? And so that was my idea. And so I thought, okay, a home. I have that home builder punch. Remember we talked about it? And so that is exactly what I decided to use. Now let's talk about that. Remember I told you that you could, there's a stamp set that you can stamp your home, and it has different options. But I didn't want to use that. So what I decided to do is I looked through my scraps, and I looked for different scraps that I had, and I knew that I might need, let's see, I looked at this and I thought, okay, a 3 by 3 square or something around that area would be great for this. And so I found this was a piece of crumb cake that I had, but I didn't want to cut up another piece of crumb cake, so I just looked in the scrap bin. So that's how I got to that point. So I found this gray designer series paper that I've had for a while. It has like bricks on the back, and then on this is like that slate gray. And so I did punch that out, but I kind of didn't like how it looked on the card. So then I kept looking, and I found some designer series paper that looked like wood, like a wood design. So I went ahead and punched that out, and I like that better. So it all depends on kind of what you're looking for, right? So then I cut that out, and then I realized that I needed to give it some definition. And so on both of these, what I've done is I took that home builder punch, and I cut out out of some scrap white. I cut out a couple of the home shapes, and I just glued them on here to give that stability. And then I thought, okay, but I want some snow and on the roof here. And so what I did was I took that home builder punch again, and I stuck some basic white. Let me just grab a little bit. I stuck that basic white, a scrap, and I just stuck it in my hole punch. And I put it just a little below that edge where obviously the roof ends. So just a little bit. And I went ahead and punched it out. And then I'm using up those scraps that we saved. I don't know why I save stuff like this, but I always end up using it. So maybe that's why I save it. And then I just took my scissors and cut off that, let's see, cut off that chimney. Oops, I almost cut too much here. Oops, okay. And then I knew I just wanted a snow. So here's some that I previously cut. But I cut up the middle. And then right there where that roof starts, I cut up. And I cut up here. And I have to get closer. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. And then you have a snow shape that's going to fit right on the roof, right? And so you can trim it up, or you can leave it kind of odd because that looks like there's more snow on that side, right? And then you just kind of flush it up so it's on the top. So here's another one I cut a little bit better when I didn't have a camera between me and the cutting. So there you go. So either way, this is not perfect they're not completely symmetrical, but that's okay because snow doesn't always fall the same on each surface, right? So anyway, so there's that. And then that whole, the home builder punches out, I have some thread here, punches out these little tiny squares. So I took some yellow and punched out 2 for each house. And so they look like, hopefully like the lights in the house, right? And then also you'll see on that home builder punch, there's a little heart. There's also like a little hole so you can make a doorknob. And there's a little heart. So I just simply put, you can see where I did that. You just simply put your red in here, and I have it locked, but you simply put your red in here and you punch out that heart. And there you go. Now you have a heart. And I put my heart right here on the home. I was hoping, but I guess maybe you wouldn't even be able to see it. I was kind of going for like a wreath or something, but this is a small house, so that wouldn't happen. And I also, I have some of that snow on my window there. And so I just drew the door with my Stampin' Right marker. So these are also great for journaling in your scrapbook, but it has a fine tip point, and it also has a broader point. So these come in all the colors of ink that we have, but I always have 1 or 2 black ones sitting on my craft table. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this card up because I've kind of shared everything, but well, almost everything with you. So what I did with this house is I just put a little bit of glue. I'm using the liquid Tombow glue, and I just put it right there. Now I'm going to tell you something I didn't do on this card. I kind of, if you look really closely, you can kind of see it on the snowman, but it doesn't show up. Now when you have something on white, sometimes it is a good idea, and I'm looking for my pencil here. It is a good idea to just do a little shading. And what happens when you shade things is it just looks a little more real, right? So I just did a little like that just to give it a hint of it being snow. And then I took my Santa, and I'm going to put him on dimensionals. And I don't have, you know, you can put the house on dimensionals too if you want to. I'm just going to do Santa. So he actually reminds me of Father Christmas. I don't know why, he's a snowman. I called him a Santa, didn't I? I meant snowman. And how many of you have already started planning your Christmas decorations? How many of you decorate even? When I was way younger, I used to, everything was decorated, including pillows, sheets, everything. I kind of got away from that for a while, and then I didn't put up a tree for a while because it was like so hard to dispose of the tree, right? So, but I'm back into it. I have been for a few years now. I'll say I do use a fake tree, and that's because it's easier for me to dispose of it well, you don't have to dispose of it, right? You just fold it up and put it away. All right, so we're going to take the release paper off of the back of these dimensionals. And you know, if you're watching here on Facebook, you can also hit that like button if you like this. And I appreciate those of you that follow me. It just helps build our channels, that's all. All right, whoa. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the snowman here. You can put him anywhere. And I am going to give him some more of that shading. Just a little shading. All right, and then I have some sentiments. So this is the sentiment I chose for here. You could see the sentiment on this one. This was just I had this in my scraps too. So when I take all of those things off of those 5x7 sheets, I put them in different containers. I don't want the scraps to go running away, so I put them in this old paper pumpkin box. I'm going to use this one. Let's see. I'm going to use this one on the inside. But I just put them here, and I put the ephemera right in that little bowl. And then, oh, that wasn't, I have several bowls here. This little bowl. And then when Christmas is over, then I have a plastic container that I put all of them in, and then I'll use them accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and use this sentiment right here. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this one and put it on the inside, just because. Now, if you were stamping, you would have already wanted to stamp it, right? But we're not stamping, so make sure I got the right side up. And then you could decorate this too if you wanted to. If you had a big enough strip where you cut off that on here, you could also put it down here. But I'm just going to leave it because I am just going to sign a little bit, just like a love, Rita, whatever. And I'll just put it on here. And then I'm going to use this sentiment that says, 'tis the season. And this came from the sentiment package. And I'm going to put it on dimensionals, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, I did want to tell you that sometimes, and I'm going to, white on white is hard here. Sometimes we like to, well, not sometimes for me, I do like to use the bows and the ribbon and stuff like that. But I find that this is already a lot of stuff on the card, so I'm not going to put any ribbon on it. But when it's your card, you do you. And so if you have ribbon and you want to do that, that's fine. So I am going to go ahead and take off the Oh, I thought that was the whole, take off the release paper on this dimensional, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the sentiment right here. And you can rearrange this any way you want. If you wanted the sentiment on the other side, just put your snowman up a little. Now I do want this straight, so let me, there we go. All right, so now I have the front and the back of the card, but I did want to bling it up a little. And so you may say, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to take my, these are the rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to pull them out, and I'm going to decorate with that. So I'm just going to, you can see them on this card. Can you see it? So they will look like snow. And so that's what we're going to do with this card. So let me just, and you can use, I don't have my other take a pick tool here, but that is much easier. Oh, yes, I do. Let's see. I'm just going to use this, my fingers, because I don't want to be on here for a long time, but here we go. Let's see here. The reason I'm not using that other take a pick tool is because I really want to see where I'm actually, I can feel this rhinestone, and then this take a pick tool is helping me. So there's 4. Let's, I hate to use my fingers because sometimes they'll get in your nails and then you have to dig them out. So let's see. I wanted to do this so you could see me here. Well, I've got a lot of them on my finger. Here we go. And I don't really, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5? I'll put 7 because I have this one on my finger and might as well use it, right? So 1 more. And what is the big deal about having odd numbers? It has to do with how our eye works and what our eye is attracted to. So it is a common thought or shared thought that odd numbers are easier or more appealing on your eyes. They make your eyes move throughout more. They also say when you see a word for 250 times, it's embedded in your memory. So that's kind of why. Anyway, here's the card. So 2 cards, one I made before, one I made semi-made with you. And that's all using the gorgeous Mix and Match collection. So I just want to share that with you, and also to remind you that Wednesday is the last day. If you wanted that card kit from last Thursday's online class, then Wednesday is the last day to earn that. And you earn that by making a $50 or more purchase from my online store. Hopefully we'll have another class on Thursday, so you'll have another opportunity. But thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click that like button and subscribe. Thank you so very much. Bye now.